Let's open that top window, a little bit of air in. There, everyone. I'm running a little behind. Been caught with some technical difficulties. And that's because I find anything technical quite difficult. It's the way that things are set up these days. Felt like Google was offering me zero help, zero advice onto how to quickly move files from one thing to another, as they were desperately trying to sell me extra memory space. Just nothing but warnings that you will not be able to receive emails or send emails or save photos with all of the memory and Google Drive and Google Photos being used up. So it took a while to navigate around that. Got through the scenario without having to pay them any extra money, so I feel like it was a victory, though it did cost a lot of time. Sadly, that's what I seem to be lacking at the moment. I do really enjoy doing the videos, looking forward to a few that the concepts are really good concepts. There's the 3, 6, and 9 video I'm working on. There's a video about music, whether or not it's good or bad to listen to music, the positive and negative effects of music. There's the links and dinks of the zodiac still. I keep thinking about the Aries, checking for a reply back from the guy I sent the email to. Let's see if I can clear using the music in that before I go ahead and assume it's okay. I did get permission from the guy who created it. It's just the people that he was signed to, the record company that he was signed to, waiting to hear back from them. And of course, the links and dinks of the tarot with the Fool coming up. The problem with this one is I've invested so much time into writing it, and every time I get to the end of reading through it, I feel like there's more that I can add. That's how the Saturn video came up recently. I started talking about the Vav, which is in the Aleph, which is the Hebrew letter associated with the Fool, and realized how long that section was actually getting. Now, it's brilliant, because a lot of these things I started to realize as I was looking into Saturn, and then recently found a video from a guy called Harry B. Joseph, a guy who's written a book called The Book of Wisdom. And I was watching one of his videos, and incredibly, it was like watching all of the details that I had in my video through someone else's delivery. I would rate this book 100%. I need to go buy this book. The guy has done a great job on it. It's not his own works. It's collected information from years of watching the same people that I was watching. A lot of the information on there that we had both used in our videos was from Santos Bonacci. There was also things from other people like Manly P. Hall, Randall Carson. Not entirely sure on the full list of names for that specific topic, to be honest. Just I watched a bunch of different videos from him. The book seems to be very good. There's been other things in other videos that I've done that were in his. It's like our Saturn videos. He mentioned in his one talking about the Saturn being linked with the simulations, same as in mine. He had the computer games consoles, the Xbox, the GameCube, and the Sega Saturn. I had Sega Saturn initially. I was looking to see if the Sega Saturn was rival for the GameCube, because I know that things often come in twos, and the Saturn being in Sega Saturn was quite an obvious one. Saturn being related to the Cube, that's something that I learned from Santos Bonacci. That was the hexagon that you see on the top of Saturn, is the net of a cube. But the Sega Saturn didn't rival the GameCube, it actually rivaled the Nintendo 64. And then I realized, of course, 64 is a cube number. It's 4x4x4 cube. And I thought, that's interesting. We have Saturn versus Saturn. I mean, it came up against the PlayStation, which I didn't see any specific cubes in PlayStation or any obvious Saturn references. But then the GameCube, you see, was rivaling the Xbox. So that was yet again another cube versus box, Saturn versus Saturn. It's interesting how often these tropes and themes are used. Seeing that Harry B. Joseph had put all of these, apart from he didn't have Nintendo 64, the cube numbers, he had the other three in one of his videos, which is quite impressive. That was, there's not many people that talk about this information anymore, especially as Santos Bonacci's channel was taken down. We lost thousands of videos that would have been full of this information. Also, people like Philip Daniel Miles, my favorite astrologer, he took all of his videos down, or his videos were taken down recently. That's a lot of information there that just isn't easily available. And that's why, or one of the reasons why I decided that doing a channel is quite important. A lot of the information that helped me in my life, helped me make better choices in my life, is disappearing. And it'd be nice for it to still be available there for other people to use. It helped me a great deal. It's like a lot of the stuff that I talk about, I do try and approach with caution, because the more that you research, the more that you learn, the more that you know, the more you realize you don't know. It's like it's easier to uncover lies than it is to uncover truths. You can tell if someone's being dishonest, but you can't tell whether or not they had the correct information in the first place to be dishonest about. It's like you could tell a lie about something and accidentally get it right if you don't know the truth. You could accidentally tell the truth while you're searching for a story that would fit your lie. There's absolutely nothing that you really gain with the knowledge except awareness. You have the awareness that things aren't as fixed as you believe. Things aren't as set in place. Material isn't as solid as it would have you believe it is. The idea of pain and pleasure from the nervous system, this is what keeps us grounded and teaches us that the world is definitely real because it hurts. Are you dreaming? Well, pinch yourself. See if you're dreaming. If you feel pain, you're not dreaming. Well, if that's the only thing that separates this world from the dream world, then who's to say this isn't just a dream with pain? You can't really know a lot of these things. What you can do is see links in the patterns. Once you get good at pattern recognition, you get really good at determining what works and what doesn't. And that, I think, is what we base a lot of our truth on. There's things that work and there's things that do not work. And quite often, if it gets very complicated to the point where you don't fully understand, but you're carefully reciting everything that you've read some trusted authority head has said, some expert in the field, you've not gained knowledge. You've just become a spokesperson for someone else's agenda. The real truth of this world could be that it's a non-fixed simulation created by yourself, in which once you recognize your ownership, your authority, you will be able to use this world in a way that works for all of us, not just for yourself. See, there's a lot of people that can end up going down a dark path if you believe that we are all just one lonely being. We're not just one lonely being. We're all from the same being. And we've created every possible variation of our being coming into a fresh world, starting from scratch, starting with different planet alignments, different native scene, but all starting with the same fundamentals and building from there. That, it deserves a lot of respect. That is as close to real as you can get. You're interacting with someone else who is living a real life, same as you, starting off from the same place as you. You gotta have respect for them as you would any other player of a game that has an equal footing to you. Even if this game has features and where you can start in places that give you the appearance of being ahead of others, like someone was born into a rich family, you may think that they have the advantage over you until you realize the scriptures talking of rich men entering heaven being like a camel walking through the eye of a needle. It's actually harder for them. It may appear easier, but it's harder for them to turn away from a life of material when they have an abundance of material. So seeing other books come out with the same information that I'm putting out, that's not worrying in the slightest. I'm not in here to make money. I am here to spread truth. It excites me that more truth is being spread. I love this guy for doing this book. I'm going to buy his book. I'm going to promote his book on my channel. Once I get the book, I'm going to do a book review on it. It looks incredible. There's 2 volumes out. I could have got the PDF, but I want to wait and buy the proper book. It's quite expensive, something like 44 quid on deal, but the money's going to a good place, I think. Someone that's taken all of this knowledge and compiled it in a way where it won't be gone and forgotten. And it's also inspired me to try and look into deeper places, to try and pull out extra knowledge that people wouldn't already have in their books, and see what else I can pull out about Saturn that hasn't been mentioned. I'm looking forward to doing my next Saturn video as well. The music one will probably be a lot of information shared between that and the second Saturn one. Saturn comes up a lot in music, the time signature, everything with tempo and music would be related to Saturn, the structure, the chronology. Saturn was Chronos, you've got the 12 different signs of the zodiac, that would be in chronological order. There's loads of things to unpack, and I feel that I could have fun for days. It's hard to know with the big projects when I'm done, because no matter how much I put down, no matter how many hours I spend writing, it always feels like there's more to be done. So definitely feeling excitement for the future. Looking forward to the Christmas holidays coming up. Hopefully I'll have extra time to put into these videos, get some more materialized. Start taking a leaf out of Saturn's book and crystallize these things into material form. If all goes well, should be seeing a lot more content from the Shinjitsu Master. So for those of you that like watching my daily videos, I appreciate your patience. I will try and get them to you as quick as possible. I'm going to try and get another video later on today. It gets a little bit more caught up. And try and get some of the bigger projects closer to completion. So thank you for your patience. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.